Right now at 9, Ozarks Technical Community College in Springfield says it was the victim of cyber fraud. We'll have the details. Plus, we're heading to Pitt State where they're celebrating the Holy Festival of Colors. Also, the Youth Volunteer Corps of Joplin rolling up their sleeves and helping out at the Ronald McDonald House. And everyone in the community was invited to the campus of MSSU for Brass Day. You're watching KOAM News at 9, and it starts right now. And thank you for joining us. I'm Chris Warner. Ozarks Technical Community College says it lost almost $900,000 in a cyber fraud incident. Federal authorities are investigating the criminal act. Joe Hickman reports from Springfield on what's happened.
Considering that OTC is a public community college established 32 years ago by a vote of Springfield residents and the help of 13 area school districts, today's news that the school had been a victim of cyber fraud caused a strong reaction.
This was an attack on every man, woman, and child in southwest Missouri, and we're angry about it. We're embarrassed that it happened.
The school got swindled out of nearly $900,000 from its general fund when criminals succeeded in impersonating one of the school's vendors online.
A vendor is someone who sends us bills for products, materials, computers, whatever. We had a criminal who had impersonated a vendor, and instead of us paying the vendor, we paid the criminal.
There was some good news, though, in that this was not a case of the school's computer system getting hacked or ransomware, where hackers shut down an entire system until they're paid money.
It does not affect our students, our employees, our staff. No one got into our systems. No one got personal data. We've had other colleges in this state in the last 5 years who have lost control of the data, had to shut the college down, cost them millions of dollars. So we're pleased that our cybersecurity that we teach worked well for the institution.
Yes, ironically, OTC just started a cybersecurity program this year, and this is just another example of why students who get a degree here will have no problem finding jobs.
So it went from robbing trains to banks to now it's all digital, where somebody from the armchair or their basement can do the same kind of crime. We're training our students to go out to help protect both corporate and customer.
People need to realize that there's a lot of ways to attack you. One way is to go in through your computer system, but there's also other ways.
Don't click on random links that show up in your email. Don't give people information over the phone that your bank's never going to call you and ask you for your password.
And as our society becomes increasingly more dependent on the digital world, the chances of becoming a victim of a cybercrime keep increasing.
No one is immune and everyone should be aware.
But they don't leave their house without locking the door. So take those same precautions with your digital footprint.
Now, OTC has filed insurance to cover the loss. Holi, a Hindu festival, also known as the Festival of Colors, was celebrated at PSU today. Anyone was able to come out and throw neon-colored powder at one another. The powder signifies the joy of a new year, as Holi is the start of the Hindu New Year. The Indian Student Association says they put on the event to share with different cultures with the community that they may not otherwise get to experience.
The Indian culture celebrates life throughout the year, and in the spring they celebrate that with colors. And so what you'll be seeing today is neon colors being thrown in the air and thrown at each other and covering each other, just having a good time, dancing.
We want to start our new year with a lots of color and lots of joy, and this is we celebrate all day long. This is our Happy New Year.
They say they hope the event can bring more people together and teach more people about Hindu and Indian culture. High schoolers with the Youth Volunteer Corps in Joplin gave their time at the Ronald McDonald House today. The group helped beautify the outside of the building by raking leaves and pulling out weeds. They volunteer twice a month during the school year. They say they hope to beautify the space for families that are staying at the Ronald McDonald House.
The families who are here with sick children use this courtyard as a peaceful place. So we're just making it look nicer and more peaceful by removing the weeds and such to just make it a nicer spot to be.
Volunteers were between the ages of 13 and 18, and Anchor says this helps them learn about commitment and hard work. Missouri Southern hosted Brass Day, a day for the community to learn more about all kinds of instruments, specifically brass instruments. It was a community event that was free and for all ages and experience levels. It was an opportunity for people to learn from local artists and music professors. There was also a master class for musicians of all ages.
All Missouri companies that are there, manufacturers and music stores. And so that's an opportunity for students and others to try out mouthpieces, buy some accessories, try out some instruments as well. So it's a little bit of everything here at Brass Day. I'm calling it a potpourri kind of day.
Last year's event was virtual, so everyone was excited to be back in person this year. And it was a chillier day, a little cloudier. Nick Kelly joining us.
Well, at the very least, we kept things a bit mild once again for today, Chris. But I wanted to show this to everybody. Nice looking view of the sunset, almost just setting from earlier this evening, not too long ago. But the numbers certainly bore that out. 45 this morning and certainly chillier compared to the past few days, with highs topping out around 60. We haven't had much to track as the evening got underway. That's because of increasing clouds, but more moisture getting pulled in. We're starting to see more showers popping up just to the south of the region. That incoming moisture and this upper level wave coming out of Utah and Colorado. Unfortunately, that is going to result in a cloudy Easter Sunday, a chilly Easter Sunday, and unfortunately a bit of a damp Easter Sunday as well. We'll have the showers picking up overnight, sticking with us for many of us into the afternoon tomorrow, and then trying to taper out late in the afternoon. But you can see, Chris, only 45 in the morning and only topping out around 50. We're going to trend milder for the week ahead, but more rain in the forecast too. We'll break it down here in a few.
All right, Nick, thank you. The YMCA in Pittsburgh had their first ever Easter egg hunt underwater. Children had the chance to hunt Easter eggs a little differently this year. You could collect the eggs on top of the water or dive to the bottom to collect as many eggs as you could. There were craft tables set up as well, and every child went home with a goodie bag.
Excited that we get to meet some new people and invite some folks into our facility that maybe aren't here otherwise. But really, at the end of the day, I think it's just a celebration of our families and our kids getting to come together and enjoy their time together.
Over 80 kids joined the underwater Easter egg hunt. Columbus had their annual Easter egg hunt today. Eggs and candy were scattered all over City Park, and kids raced to collect as many as they could. Some children won prizes from their eggs, and of course, as you saw, the Easter Bunny was also there for kids to take pictures with.
Really gives them an opportunity not only to see other kids, but for the adults to see each other that maybe they haven't seen in a long time.
The park was divided into 4 sections with ages ranging from 10 months old to 10 years old. Little taste of history coming to Commerce City Hall today. Dinosaur fossils and replicas spanning the entire 165 million year reign were on display, including some fossils that you could touch. T-Rex, he was there. He was out front for anyone to take pictures with.
Natural history belongs to everyone, anywhere, all the time. Our motto is the past belongs to everybody. So this is my attempt to kind of make natural history accessible to people in our area.
If you want to find more information on the Dino Museum, it's easy to do. You just head over to KOAMnewsnow.com. And we take this time now to honor one of our many 4-state heroes. Private First Class Laura Bridges served in the Army from 1969 to 1971, her hometown, Joplin. And we're proud to recognize Private First Class Laura Bridges, tonight's 4-state hero. And of course, if you'd like to learn more about our other heroes or nominate one of your own, you can do that at our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. After the forecast, air raid sirens sounding once again Saturday across Ukraine as Russia intensifies its long-range attacks on major cities.
Sure enough, our passing cold front did lead to a chillier day compared to yesterday, but still a bit of a mild Saturday to be had before we hit sunset earlier this evening. Granted, again, nowhere near as mild as the upper 60s to near 70 we saw the other day, but after we did drop back into the mid 40s, right back near 60 for a lot of us throughout the course of our Saturday that we're just about to wrap up and getting ready to head into Easter Sunday. Now, speaking of that cold front, it came on through last night and finally did spark some more numerous showers and thunderstorms. Fortunately for us, we dodged the bullet in terms of the severe threat, and that stayed just to the south of the region. With that said, though, we did see some of our southern counties get clipped with rain and some embedded thunderstorms earlier this morning. But not a lot of rain coming out of that. When you take the entire area into account, it's just over 1/10 of an inch. But within those heavier pockets of rain from Grand Lake on south and from the Missouri-Arkansas line down south, you can see radar estimated amounts ranging between 1/2 inch, almost up to 1.5 inches under those heavier pockets. We had nothing to track throughout the day other than increasing clouds, but just as we got into this late Saturday evening, more moisture is building in, and we're starting to see the radar echoes pop up with some light showers. That will continue to increase in coverage as we go throughout the course of the night. Last check we had, though, from 7th and Rangeline, Shirley's dry roads from the east side of Joplin. And as far as temperatures go, everybody saw a good jump even from the noon hour today. We got into the lower 50s after we got into the mid 40s this morning, and then right near 60 across a good portion of the area. So these numbers still weren't bad despite a cold front that came on through last night. And the last check of the temperatures had everybody falling through the mid 50s. And I don't think we're done dropping off just yet, because as more showers begin to build overnight, along with the changing weather setup, I think we'll drop back most of us into the mid 40s. Couple of reasons for that. We've got moisture overriding our front just to the south from the Gulf of Mexico, but our Easter Sunday is looking cloudy, it's looking chilly, along with some rain chances around because of that upper level low working out of Utah and Colorado. That is going to be the main driver of our Easter Sunday forecast. You can see how the future track might be overdoing the radar coverage at least a little bit, but it's got the right idea. Scattered showers will be out there through the overnight as we get the Easter Sunday morning services underway, and even toward the noon hour, a good bet for scattered showers. Fortunately, we'll cross our fingers and see if we can get those showers to taper off as we go late into the afternoon. But even with that, it's going to be a chilly Easter Sunday this go around. 45 in the morning, 47 by noon, and a high, if we're lucky, near 50, but a lot of upper 40s to near 50 with that northeast breeze at 5 to 10 during the afternoon tomorrow. Rain amounts with these, not much more than 1/4 of an inch. We'll clear things out eventually as we go into Monday morning, and mostly sunny skies, not too bad with upper 50s in the forecast for your Monday afternoon. Very quick look at Tuesday and Wednesday. Here's another system fitting Doug's pattern. We'll watch for some maybe strong thunderstorms with that. And then by Friday and Saturday, another system. This could maybe be strong to severe storms by the time we head toward Friday and Saturday. But even with those rain chances lining up, temperatures will be on the upswing throughout the course of the week. 50 for a chilly Easter Sunday, 58 Monday, mid-60s on Tuesday, back near 70 on Wednesday, and ultimately near 80 by next weekend, Chris.
Nick, thank you. Up next.
Russian missile strikes all over Ukraine on Saturday, signaling that this war is far from over. I'm Jeff Paul in Lviv, Ukraine. I've got the details coming up.
Air raid sirens sounding once again Saturday across Ukraine as Russia intensifies its long-range attacks on major cities. Fox News correspondent Jeff Paul has the latest.
Rescue crews searching for survivors in the wreckage after a Russian missile hit a residential area of Kharkiv. It's one of several Russian attacks Saturday and a reminder that the war here is far from over. Moscow following through on a threat to ramp up long-range strikes on Ukrainian cities after the sinking of its flagship in the Black Sea. Russia says it's targeting military installations, but images on the ground tell a different story. In the south, Russia continues to press its advance in Mariupol. The key port city has been a major objective for the Kremlin since the start of the war, but so far has not fallen despite constant bombardment for nearly 2 months.
Mariupol is the heart of this war today. It's beating. We're fighting. We're strong. And if it stops beating, we will be in a weaker position.
Meanwhile, Lviv, where attacks have been far less frequent, has served as a drop-off point for international donations. Volunteers are leading the push to deliver that aid to the rest of the country and offering assistance to those who have been forced to flee the fighting.
Please do not stop sanctions. Close the sky over Ukraine. Do not stop helping us. Do not stop providing us with humanitarian assistance, because more and more people are fleeing their homes and they need your help.
The UN says more than 11 million people have been forced to leave their homes here in Ukraine since the start of this war. In Lviv, Ukraine, Jeff Paul, Fox News.
Coming up, police in Paris using tear gas and pepper spray on demonstrators. We'll tell you what's going on. Police in Paris using tear gas and pepper spray on demonstrators who were speaking out against the far-right presidential candidate Marine Le Pen. Thousands of far-right protesters marched all across France on Saturday. They said they want to present a united front to prevent Le Pen from winning an election runoff against incumbent President Emmanuel Macron on April 24th. Police have warned of possible incidents as demonstrators convene in about 30 cities. Macron is a centrist who won the presidency 5 years ago, easily beating Le Pen, when voters rallied behind him in the runoff to keep her far-right party out of power. This year, the first round of voting last Sunday set up the sample battle, but this time Macron is facing a much tougher challenge. A chain of movie theaters now letting you pay in a new way that's as high-tech as the movies you watch. AMC theaters will now accept Dogecoin and Shiba Inu cryptocurrencies for purchasing tickets and concessions in their cinemas. Moviegoers can now select BitPay as their payment option if they are holders of those two cryptocurrencies. AMC chief Adam Aron made the announcement on Friday on Twitter, saying the new payment method is available in the latest updated version of the app. A common arts and crafts product is recalled over potential fire safety issues. Discount chain Dollar Tree is recalling 1 million Crafter's Square hot glue guns over potential fire and skin irritation risks. The hot glue guns were made in China and sold at Dollar Tree from August of 2020 through February of 2022, and also at Family Dollar from January through February this year. The glue guns are black with an orange trigger and tip. Consumers can go online to both company websites to search for product recall information. Another electric vehicle maker enters the market, and its products arrive soon on the West Coast. VinFast, the Vietnamese entry into electric cars, will begin exporting a lineup of all-electric SUVs to California later this year. A VinFast executive says the company will have 30 dealers operating there by the end of the year before expanding nationwide. VinFast will have one unique marketing feature. Power batteries won't be standard, but will be leased separately and then recycled at the end of its use. Major fitness company making changes in pricing for products and plans. Peloton has announced that it's making cuts to its Bike Plus, and Tread machines, while also increasing its subscription fees for services such as fitness training. Product costs will drop ranging from $150 to $300. Subscription fees will go up for the first time ever to $5 a month in the U.S. and $6 a month in Canada. Peloton says it's making the changes to help grow its market. Elon Musk making moves reportedly recruiting partners to join his Twitter takeover bid after the board's attempt to thwart him. Fox News correspondent Alexandria Hoff has more from Washington.
Well, a poison pill is a financial tactic used to block a potential takeover of a company. It works by giving a board the ability to flood the market with shares, making overall acquisition far more expensive. Last week, as we know, Elon Musk offered $43 billion to buy Twitter. He called it his final offer, and his interest really drives from what he calls being a free speech absolutist who disagrees with decisions made by Twitter to knock certain people off the platform. Here's what he said Thursday.
I do think that we want to be just very reluctant to delete things and have just be very cautious with permanent bans. Timeouts I think are better.
He also indicated that he has a plan B for taking ownership, but that was before Twitter's board voted yesterday to adopt the poison pill. This tactic is not always deployed in the same way. In this case, it expires next year and is triggered after one shareholder acquires more than 15% stake. Musk is currently holding the second most with 9% of shares. Here is the Associated Press's global markets editor, Paul Harloff, on the poison pill move.
That doesn't mean that Twitter won't eventually negotiate a deal with him, but this gives them a little more sway, and they can, force him to increase his bid, even though he has said 5420 is his final offer. He's a person who's been known to change his mind.
Yesterday, Musk retweeted this poll. It was conducted on Twitter, of course, of about 19,500 users, and of those, 73% voted their support in Musk buying Twitter. Twitter founder Jack Dorsey weighed in on the back and forth, saying, as a public company, Twitter has always been for sale. He tweeted, quote, "That's the real issue." In Washington, Alexandria Hoff, Fox News.
We're wrapping up this half hour of the news at 9 by spending some time with the Blue Man Group as they take a plunge. The annual Cold Lake Plunge in Berlin kicked off on Good Friday after a 2-year hiatus due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Among the participants was the famous Blue Man Group, who gave the first 10 people to do the plunge free tickets to a Blue Man performance. Water temperatures in Lake Wannsee were around 42 degrees Fahrenheit, but people were so excited the tradition was back this year, they were happy to brave the cold waters. I unintentionally ran into the Blue Man Group in Chicago once on a school trip back in 2003. They happened to be at the same hotel we were. Anyway, get ready for a view of the sun that just may hit you in the solar plexus. This stunning composite photograph of the sun was taken in early March by the European Space Agency. A camera on board the agency's Solar Orbiter spacecraft compiled this mosaic from 25 10-minute exposures over 4 hours, each taken one after the other for an 83 megapixel view. In comparison, your smart TV's 4K pixel rate is only 8 megapixels. It's the highest resolution view of the sun ever. Unfortunately, we didn't really get to see that high resolution view of the sun today. But Nick Kelly's coming back with your forecast in the next half hour, and hopefully he's got some good news about when we're going to see that. We do have 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Up first, worshipers are ringing in Easter Saturday in the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem. Plus, firefighters in Colorado are battling wildfires across the state. Welcome back. Worshipers are ringing in Easter Saturday in the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem. Hundreds of pilgrims from all over the world made the trip to Jerusalem to attend the Easter Vigil service in person after dealing with restrictions for the past 2 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic. During the service, led by the Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem, worshipers were seen praying and singing hymns. Firefighters in Colorado battling wildfires across the state. At least 5 new large fires have been reported, with more than 1,500 firefighters responding in Larimer County. Mandatory evacuation orders are in place for residents in the Blue Mountain area after a fire broke out on Friday. According to Larimer County Sheriff's Office, as of Friday, the fire was burning around 300 acres with 0% containment. Just what sparked the fires? Still under investigation. Violence continued for a second day at a key Muslim holy site in Jerusalem on Friday. Skirmishes between Palestinians and Israeli forces injured 152 people at the Al-Akshah Mosque, and hundreds were detained. Fierce battles erupted the day before as Israeli riot police entered the mosque area. Deadly attacks by both Israelis and Palestinians in the last month have everyone on high alert as Ramadan coincides with Passover for the first time since 1991. Al-Akshah is the third holiest site in Islam. President Biden is reversing direction on some oil drilling, upsetting constituents on the left and right. The Biden administration saying on Friday it will resume allowing oil and gas development on federal lands. The decision is seen as a broken campaign pledge after Biden said he would stop drilling on federal lands during his run for the presidency. Environmental groups slammed the president as showing weak climate leadership, while oil industry leaders say the move didn't open up drilling enough. Chaos in South Carolina after gunfire erupts inside a crowded shopping mall. At least 12 people were hurt when shots rang out at the Columbiana Center Mall Saturday. Fox News correspondent Nate Foy has the latest.
We can confirm 12 people are hurt, 10 of them have been shot, and 2 are in critical condition after a shooting at a mall in Columbia, South Carolina. It happened at 2:03 Saturday afternoon. It was reported by a witness at the Columbiana Center Mall 3 people are detained so far. Police say they were all seen with guns inside the mall. At least one of them is accused of firing a gun near the Gap store inside. Here's the Columbia police chief talking about a possible motive.
We don't believe this was random. I think that's very important in situations like this. We believe that the individuals that were armed knew each other, and there was some type of conflict that occurred that resulted in gunfire. This was not a situation where we had some random person show up at a mall to, discharge a firearm and just, injure people.
Here's one man who was with his daughter when shots were fired.
It was a pretty scary event. It was about 10 shots or so that rang out. Before they were done, I was grandparent and we were running out the door. When I tell you, people were coming out of every single exit as fast as possible. It was a pretty serious situation.
The 12 injured people are being treated at 3 local hospitals. We know the oldest victim is 73, the youngest just 15 years old. Columbia police are asking the public for any information about what happened inside that mall. Reporting in New York, Nate Foy, Fox News.
Record apprehensions at the border adding to a list of crises piling up for the White House. So how will the president respond to the latest challenge facing the administration? Fox News correspondent Lucas Tomlinson is at the White House with more.
This week, Texas Governor Greg Abbott made good on his promise to send migrants here to the nation's capital on chartered buses. Not all Republicans agree with the strategy.
Governor Abbott is paying to bus them 26 hours on a trip they want to take. Instead of busing them 2 miles back across the Mexican border, which is what he should be doing, it is all a show. And you'll see next month when the numbers come out.
For the 4th consecutive day, a chartered bus from Texas has arrived just a few blocks from the U.S. Capitol. Some of the migrants then headed to Union Station for a train to New York. Others have family members meeting them. We spoke to some of the migrants this week.
I want an opportunity to get ahead. I want a job, an opportunity to move forward.
Earlier, the mayor of a Texas border town offered this suggestion for solving the border crisis.
It'd be great if President Biden and Governor Abbott would sit down and have a conversation to address it, because that's the only way that's really going to be, we would be able to truly address this once and for all.
It's not just the number of migrants crossing the border that's increasing, but the price of gasoline too. With prices soaring across the country, the White House announced late Friday it would reverse course and allow new oil and gas leases on federal land. This about-face comes after the president signed an executive order just days after taking office, barring any new drilling on federal land. President Biden is in Camp David for the Easter weekend. He returns just in time for the Easter egg roll. At the White House, Lucas Tomlinson, Fox News.
A little later, it's time for another car report, but this one is a bit different.
Sure enough, our passing cold front did lead to a chillier day compared to yesterday, but still a bit of a mild Saturday to be had before we hit sunset earlier this evening. Granted, again, nowhere near as mild as the upper 60s and near 70 we saw the other day, but after we did drop back into the mid 40s, right back near 60 for a lot of us throughout the course of our Saturday that we're just about to wrap up and getting ready to head into Easter Sunday. Now, speaking of that cold front, it came on through last night and finally did spark some more numerous showers and thunderstorms. Fortunately for us, we dodged the bullet in terms of the severe threat, and that stayed just to the south of the region. With that said, though, we did see some of our southern counties get clipped with rain and some embedded thunderstorms earlier this morning. But not a lot of rain coming out of that. When you take the entire area into account, it's just over 1/10 of an inch. But within those heavier pockets of rain from Grand Lake on south and from the Missouri-Arkansas line down south, you can see radar estimated amounts ranging between 1/2 an inch, almost up to 1.5 inches under those heavier pockets. We had nothing to track throughout the day other than increasing clouds, but just as we got into this late Saturday evening, more moisture is building in and we're starting to see the radar echoes pop up with some light showers. That will continue to increase in coverage as we go throughout the course of the night. Last check we had, though, from 7th and Rangeline showed these dry roads from the east side of Joplin. And as far as temperatures go, everybody saw a good jump even from the noon hour today. We got into the lower 50s after we got into the mid 40s this morning, and then right near 60 across a good portion of the area. So these numbers still weren't bad despite a cold front that came on through last night. And the last check of the temperatures had everybody falling through the mid 50s. And I don't think we're done dropping off just yet, because as more showers begin to build overnight, along with the changing weather setup, I think we'll drop back most of us into the mid 40s. Couple of reasons for that. We've got moisture overriding our front just to the south from the Gulf of Mexico, but our Easter Sunday is looking cloudy, it's looking chilly, along with some rain chances around because of that upper level low working out of Utah and Colorado. That is going to be the main driver of our Easter Sunday forecast. You can see how the future track might be overdoing the radar coverage at least a little bit, but it's got the right idea. Scattered showers will be out there through the overnight as we get the Easter Sunday morning services underway, and even toward the noon hour, a good bet for scattered showers. Fortunately, we'll cross our fingers and see if we can get those showers to taper off as we go late into the afternoon. But even with that, it's going to be a chilly Easter Sunday this go around. 45 in the morning, 47 by noon, and a high, if we're lucky, near 50, but a lot of upper 40s to near 50 with that northeast breeze of 5 to 10 during the afternoon tomorrow. Rain amounts with these, not much more than 1/4 of an inch. We'll clear things out eventually as we go into Monday morning. And mostly sunny skies, not too bad with upper 50s in the forecast for your Monday afternoon. Very quick look at Tuesday and Wednesday. Here's another system fitting Doug's pattern. We'll watch for some maybe strong thunderstorms with that. And then by Friday and Saturday, another system. This could maybe be strong to severe storms by the time we head toward Friday and Saturday. But even with those rain chances lining up, temperatures will be on the upswing throughout the course of the week. 50 for a chilly Easter Sunday, 58 Monday, mid-60s on Tuesday, back near 70 on Wednesday, and ultimately near 80 by next weekend, Chris.
Nick, thank you. Coming up in sports, McDonald County hosts Neosho for a district matchup, plus a border battle. Joplin travels to Pittsburgh. Danny Terzer has those highlights next.
Pittsburgh beat rival Fort Scott at home on Friday to get over 500. And they're now 4-3 on the season. Pittsburgh hosts the Joplin Eagles today for an interstate matchup. Scoreless in the 5th, Pittsburgh turns a double play. They had a few of these today, but with 2 outs, Kyler Stokes puts it in play. Bodie Carlson races home to score off the error. 1-0 Eagles. Pittsburgh down to its final out here. Cooper Hayden gets a piece. Braden Benson scores the tying run. Free baseball now, bottom 9. Ethan Rhodes gets a hit to shallow center. Grant O'Doherty scores from first. Pittsburgh walks it off against Joplin in extras, 2-1. McDonald County looking for their 3rd straight win at home against Neosho. In the 2nd, Tucker Walters goes up the middle, 2-run score. Then Levi Helm goes down the 3rd baseline for a 2-run home run, 7-0 Mustangs, and they're still going in the 2nd. Destin Dowd bunts, throw to first goes over the infielder's head. Cross Dowd slides home. Later in the 5th, Helm blasts it over the fence again, his 2nd home run of the day. Another 2-run shot. McDonald County rolls by Neosho 12-2. College baseball here, the Pitt State offense produced just 3 hits today as 3rd-ranked Central Missouri picks up a shutout win 11-0 to sweep the series. The Gorillas have 9 games remaining on their regular season schedule. All but 1 are on the road. They return to action on Wednesday for a non-conference matchup at Missouri S&T. Missouri Southern falls in the series finale against Newman 6-4. Jordan Fitzpatrick hits a 2-run home run. Cole Woods pitches 5 innings, giving up no earned runs. But then the Jets put up 5 in the 6th, and Missouri Southern can't complete the comeback. Southern has the week off before heading back on the road at Northeastern State this coming Friday. Pitt State softball drops a pair of games against Washburn today, 5-0 and 12-6. In Game 2, Keela Griffith drives in 3 runs, including a 2-run home run. She's got 12 on the season, tied for second most in the MIAA. Finally, Missouri Southern softball at Emporia State today. In Game 1, Lions win 7-2. Kristen Wade steals home for the go-ahead run in the 6th. Leighton Withers and Ashlyn Williams each blast home runs. Game 2 is the reverse. Lions fall 7-2 to split the doubleheader. Williams goes 3 for 3 with an RBI. Kansas City trying to stop a 5-game skid. Dustin Garneau goes deep to center field off the wall. Daz Cameron scores from second. Bottom half, Nicky Lopez gets a base hit to left. Hunter Dozier going for home. The throw beats him out at the plate. Still locked up at 1. Dozier finds another way. 6th inning, 1 on. He hits his first home run of the year. Royals on top. Kansas City takes Game 3, 3-1. That's it for sports. We're back after this.
There's a new beauty in town packed with beast-level technology, and it's going to help Fox's weather team stay on top of all future storms. Gary Gastelou has more from the custom, weather-durable Ford F-250 pickup.
New York City hasn't seen a monster like this since King Kong came to town. This Fox Weather Beast is the first of a fleet of custom Ford F-250 pickups that America's weather team will be using to bring you the news from wherever the wind blows. This truck is as tough as it looks. It has a 385 horsepower V8, 4-wheel drive, 35-inch all-terrain tires. It won't just be chasing storms, they're going to be running away from it. There's a built-in 8-kilowatt inverter for on-site power, LED auxiliary lighting, and a winch. The Beast also has a brain, though, and is equipped with a satellite uplink, a remote-controlled roof-mounted camera that can provide a live video feed on the move, and an Airmar weather station that delivers up-to-the-date meteorological data directly to the reporters in the field. It's one of the most advanced weather trucks ever built, but as cool as it is, here's hoping you'll never have to see it in person, except on a sunny day. In New York, Gary Gastelou, Fox News.
I think I could certainly use one of those. I remember trying to turn my old Jeep into one of those. It never really worked out. We'll be right back. Fox's emergency responder drama returns all new Monday with big action sequences once again for star Oliver Stark. We spoke with Stark about working on the series, including all the stunt work, what it's like behind the scenes with this cast, and what's coming up as Season 5 continues. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
I'm almost there. Oliver Stark is at the center of the action again when Fox's 911 returns all new Monday as Buck. Buck is a real TV staple now, which Stark recognizes but still finds surreal.
I think that's probably a nice balance to have where instead of thinking, hey, I'm on one of TV's #1 shows, I still feel like I'm just getting to go to work and make this thing with my friends.
Oliver is very comfortable in the character and has a willingness to take on some serious stunt work.
Crew will come up to me after and be like, I can't believe you did that.
Yeah.
And, part of me wants to be like, oh yeah, it was nothing. But really, I'm like, I know, I can't believe I did that. So it's still fun to challenge myself in those aspects.
And the cast has fun behind the scenes, which they sometimes share on their socials.
Who's the cast member that's most likely taking out the phone for those behind the scenes, and who's the one who typically sees the phone and is shying away?
We like to refer to Aisha as iPhone-isha sometimes, and joke that her iPhone is surgically attached to her hand. And then I guess the opposite of that is, maybe Kenny Choi and Pete, they're not on social media. So I think in general, they shy away from that, which, also have a lot of respect for.
Coming up, Oliver says, is a very heartfelt rest of Season 5.
We're seeing them at a point now where so much of who they are is being broken down and then having to be rebuilt through their loved ones around them. And kind of they're exploring these things and learning through these crazy emergencies. I really feel like it's a season that feels like classic kind of 911 at its best.
In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Now see, I'm one of those guys, I feel like for the most part, I need to do a lot of my own stunts because you don't really feel like you're part of the action. If it's somebody else doing it, you go, oh no, and stop, and somebody else comes in and falls down for you or whatever. But that's just me. At the same time, I'd probably end up in the ER very quickly. Don't do your own stunts at home. Make sure you make somebody else do them for you. That is our time for now. We'll be back here tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. Thanks for making us part of your night.